In this video, we're going to answer one question: what is going on with this column right here when we showed a table's description? So if we take a look at our cats table, describe cats, this column right here, it says null, yes and yes. So field, that's the name of the column. Name is a varchar, 50 characters. Age is an integer. Null, yes, what does that mean? Well, what this means is that the null value is permitted in this particular column, in name and in age. Null is a value in MySQL that means no value. It represents the lack of a value for a given row. It basically means if we see null set to yes, that name can be empty for a row, or age can be empty, or in fact both could be missing entirely. In other words, it means the value is unknown. But it's really important to know this is different than something like 0. 0 is a number, it is a value. Null means that there is no information, there is no value at all. It's a MySQL concept here. So we could do something like this right now with our cats table. I could say I'm inserting a new cat that has a name and no age. I'll show you what happens. Insert into cats, name, and then values. And let's insert a cat called Todd. Okay, I hit enter, no problem whatsoever. Let's do a select star from cats, and what do we see? Todd is the name, that's what we expect. Age is null. So remember, it doesn't mean 0, it means no value at all, it means unknown. There's no information here for age for this row. And maybe sometimes I want that. It depends on the situation, because we might have, different columns that aren't always required that could be empty. But a lot of the time we want to require values to be present in a column, meaning you cannot have null. Just as a side note, right now we could do something like this. I can insert a completely empty cat, insert into cats, no values, just like this. I select star from cats, and now we've got this null cat, empty name, empty age. It's still a valid row, but it shouldn't be valid. I don't think we would want our cats table to permit this. So this is where we can add a constraint in called not null. Now, we could alter the table. We'll learn how to do that. But for now, what we're going to do is make a new table. I'll just call it cats2. Very simple naming pattern here. It's simple enough, but in the real world, you probably wouldn't want to have cats1, cats2, cats3, cats4. You probably just want a cats table that you are fixing and updating. But we don't know how to do that yet. So all we do is add on not null. When we are creating a table for each column, we specify the name of the column, like age, the type, int, and then not null. Just like we could do primary key, that's another sort of add-on for a column. Not null is a constraint we can add. So let's try it. Let's make a new table, create table, cats2, and I'll open it up here. Oh no, I misspelled create. Let's just close that. We'll get an error, that's okay. Create table, cats2, and then we're going to have, inside of here, let's go with name is a varchar. Let's limit it to 50 again, not null. Age is an int, also not null. Close the paren, semicolon, and now if we try to insert into cats2, let's just do name only, and then values. Let's insert Bilbo into cats2, we get an error. Field age doesn't have a default value. So that error might seem like a weird error you might not expect. Maybe you're expecting something like age must be present or an age cannot be null, but instead it says age doesn't have a default value. We'll learn how to set default values in a moment, but for now, if we take a look at cats2, it's totally empty. So it did not work. Now if I recalled this and I did name and age, and I say that Bilbo is 19, and then I select everything from cats2, it worked. So we can insert as normal unless we leave off one of those required fields or columns. So if I tried it the other way, right, if I didn't provide a name and I only provided an age, same thing, we get this error saying field name doesn't have a default value. Okay, so that's how we can add that constraint that says this column cannot be null. It must be present. And that's something we often want to enforce on important pieces of data. But not every single column needs to have not null, but a lot of them do. Oh, and the last thing I'll show you is that if we try and describe one of these tables again that has not null set up, we'll see null set to no for these different columns. So let's do describe cats. We see null is yes. Cats 2, null is no. And in this case, it's just both columns have no or not null. Both cases allow null, but obviously we don't have to always have the same value for every single column. Okay, next we're going to tackle this default over here.